What's up, Wide Body Nation? Welcome back to another video. Today we are mainly focusing on the 2019 STI S209 because I got more updates for you guys. I kind of organized my thoughts on how I want to do the 1, 2, 3 stages, plus that turbo on there kind of makes it not really a staged car. But anyway, if you guys are looking for 2021 Charger Red Eye content, I have a video coming out bright and early tomorrow, because tomorrow, today is the 30th of September 2020. Tomorrow is the 1st of October, so that means new incentives coming out. So we are going to be checking in to see, hey, Dodge.com incentives, are the horsepower dollars going to get extended to the 2021 models? Because they're on the 2020s right now, but we want them to get extended right at the beginning of the model year for that Red Eye 797 horsepower times $10 per horsepower gives me almost $8,000 off the MSRP of the car. So that will be much appreciated, Dodge. So if you can go ahead and put the launch code in for those horsepower dollars right now, I appreciate that. You got about 90 minutes till it's October. So appreciate you guys do that. Real quick, before we get into the S209, I got lots for you guys on that. As you guys can see already, looking at the screen, Tommy Kentner, my tuner, back in Clarksville, Tennessee, he is in the S209 in this video. He's got his video up already, and he installed the access port and put the stage 1 off the shelf from COBB Tune on it. Before we do that, just a reminder, we are still doing our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and that is easily entered by you for free. Hit that subscribe button, turn it from red to gray, and there's some other valuable stuff down there in the description below if you guys want some good value. We'll talk about that later in the video. But all right. So with the S209, let's pull up a little Word doc. I organized my thoughts here. So stock S209 as it sits right now. So, well, not as it sits. So the stock one has the conical intake and air filter. So instead of it just being like a normal STI air filter and intake, it's got the nice conical intake, the filter, and then the intake is that silicone, nice big inlet. It's got the HKS turbo, which is huge because that is really a strong point of the S209, and the weak point is how the car is fueling and how the car is breathing out right now. That downpipe is just constricting the heck out of the exhaust. I mean, it's terrible to see. I already got that cap back on there, but I got to get that downpipe, the stock one off, NVIDIA catless on. Got to be catless, got to hear that turbo spooling. So 20% larger injectors and fuel pump from the factory, but as you guys know, if you watched the last video, that 20% larger injectors, about 700cc injectors instead of the 550s, they're already maxed out, 95% duty cycle, and it's kind of still warm out right now too. So, that fuel pump's okay, but we're going to be going E85 soon, so we'll get to that. And then the 2019 plus block and internals, that definitely helps out. A little bit more reliability there, a little bit better actual, mechanical stuff coming from Subaru. We appreciate that, even though your engine's like a 20-year-old design. So, interested to see that new FA motor coming out in, the new STIs. So, right now, we are currently sitting at stage 1. Stage 1 because it's an S209, so it's like not really just a stage 1, but we're at stage 1 plus, so I put the plus. We're at the COBB access port, stage 1 off-the-shelf tune, because if you guys watched the last video, you would know, I'll link that right here, that Tommy was intending to do a little bit of custom tuning on it, but he did not have the proper updates yet, which I actually just found out that COBB, he talked to COBB, and they just had him update a couple things with his like actual tuning computers and all his, his like super secret squirrel stuff that he tunes the Subarus, and yeah, so we're basically good to go. So don't worry about that. I know a couple of you guys commented on that, so I'm happy that he doesn't have to like buy a whole nother license or anything, but that's good. So we got our N1 street exhaust on there, trying to help the breathing out. Got to exhale. Can't breathe through a straw. Can't exhale through a straw. Gotta have that nice 3-inch piping from that turbo all the way back. So we're sitting probably right now. Let's say conservative, about 300 wheel horsepower. And if you guys want to debate me, say it's less, say it's more, hop out in the comments below, let me know what you think. Stage 2. So this is coming up as soon as possible. I got a lot of logistics stuff right now because I'm in Georgia, Tommy's in Clarksville, the car's in Clarksville. I'm going to hit Cars and Coffee this weekend in Nashville and Atlanta. It's going to be crazy, but I'm trying to get this part done as soon as possible. I'm trying to get to 350 wheel horsepower with 1300cc injectors. We're going to go full send. We're not doing 1050s. We're doing 1300cc injectors because that'll allow us to get all the way up into those 400 numbers. NVIDIA catalyst downpipe, which is already at the shop, and then the 93 octane Pro Tune. So we're going to stay 93 for stage 2, plus, again, plus because it's the S209, you know, HKS turbo's already on there. So yeah, as one of you guys said, we got to let that thing breathe. We got to let it eat. I think it'll be at about 350 wheel horsepower, give or take, with the 1300s on it, with the catalyst downpipe, and then with the 93 octane Pro Tune. That's my opinion, and from what I've seen on the limited people who have actually tuned the S209 and the dyno curves I've seen, that's what I'm thinking. Stage 3, I'm going to do a full E85 flex fuel kit. So not just the fuel pump, not just injectors, not just a fuel pressure regulator. I'm going to do the full like $2,500 kit on COBB's website. And if you guys are in the military or you have, like maybe firefighter or police, I believe they do that too. They do a 15% discount on their website. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. Also work with your shop though. So like for instance, Tommy and I were talking about it, and it turns out COBB actually extends my military discount through him because they want their suppliers still getting credit, still distributing their products. So make sure you guys work with your tuner, because like it's important that we give back to these guys that are hooking us up with tunes, with great service, and with great videos too. You know, Tommy videos all the stuff he does with my car, so we really appreciate that. He's almost to 1,000 subs too, so check his channel out, toss him a sub if you guys don't mind, and we really appreciate that. So stage 3 plus. E85 flex fuel kit with the fuel rails, with new fuel lines, with the regulator, all that good stuff. I'm thinking, from what I've seen, I'm thinking 400 wheel. And that's an all-wheel drive. That's all-wheel drive power too. So, I mean, that's legit. And I'm going to do the one where I can put either 93 or E85. So we'll have some great videos where I do a full tank of 93, and then we can rip through that and do some videos, acceleration, sound. I'm curious on if E85 has a different sound to it. I've heard the cold starts are much rougher on E85. So we can really compare it when we have the tune that, COBB's product does let us go back from 93 to E85. So that's awesome. That is basically the update for today. Again, we are currently right here in the scheme of things. We're right here highlighted. We're currently sitting at about probably 300 wheel, maybe a little more, with the COBB XS Port Stage 1 off the shelf and that exhaust. And Tommy helped us out. I'm going to play some videos from Tommy's channel because I'm like 500 miles away. I can't drive the car. Soon though, getting it this weekend. I'm going to play some videos for you guys to check it out. Remember, we are going to be doing these injectors and downpipe so that Tommy can tune it, because right now, if he tunes it, he's not going to get much more out of it because those injectors are already, they're at 95%. I mean, usually the planning factor for injectors is about 80%, because from what I've seen, injectors that are over 80% duty cycle, they're going so fast, they're pushing so much fuel that they almost stay open. They like oscillate almost, and so it's not an open close deal. It's kind of like a vomiting almost. So we're definitely trying to make it so the injectors are not the weak point. We really want to see what that HKS turbo can do for us, since we already got it on there. Came from the factory, the STI factory, not the Subaru factory too. So with that being said, again, we are coming out with an incentives video. I'll do some incentives on some other brands too, so see what comes out for October. But with that being said, here's some footage from Tommy's channel, and I'll leave this up for you guys just to kind of see where we're at right now. And then let's see what Tommy has for us. This is him finishing up the install and then going into some pulls on the back roads of Mexico for us.
We're gonna tweak it and do some custom tuning, and then go from there. So
alrighty,
we're up to 10. So we'll just set up some logs and then go from there.
Need some hydration, I miss the car so much though. I've been driving the Charger around, my Destroyer Grade Charger, and it's not as much of a driver's car, I'm sorry. I love driving manual. This car is so buttoned down too. I really want to get you guys into this car. If you see me at Cars and Coffee, I'll take you for a spin. So here we go, I'll shut up for a second. Looks like it peaked out at about 21.9. So it used to peak at 21.5. Now it looks like it hit about 21.9 on that basically first pull from the shop right there. We'll skip ahead a tiny bit because there's a little bit of, there we go. Looks like they just hit 22.5 there for boost.
Mexico's fun.
Yeah, especially this time of year.
Let me tell you what, guys. I tell you what. The cameraman right now is getting put to work. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's a good little freeze. 22.5 foot-pounds, or not foot-pounds, PSI a boost with this new tune. Like I said, the last one was only hitting 21.5 at max. I think it gets up to 23. I actually have the COBB website pulled up. No. There we go. Let's copy this over. So the COBB website was telling me that, I mean, we can pull up their dyno chart again, but yeah, looks like they got this nice little write-up on there. They were talking about, right here they're talking about, during their investigation and development, the S209 exhibited an inconsistent and undesirable amount of knock. I mean, come on now. So these 3 runs right here, the blue one is with their stage 1, what we consider an off-the-shelf tune. So now my car is running this blue line right here. So the blue line, okay, I'd probably better if I just go ahead and go back. But yeah, the blue line is going to be where the car is now. So we got horsepower on this lower line, and then we got torque on this more flat hill right here. It looks, they were saying that the red run was taken at about 40 degrees. Yeah, 40 degrees Fahrenheit on a stock tune, and then the green line was taken at about 70 or 80 degrees, 80 degrees Fahrenheit on the stock tune as well. So it looks like we got anywhere between a 7 to 15% gain in power and torque. It looks like torque peaked out right around 340, and power, according to them, on a Mustang dyno is already at 350. I'm being real conservative with it, so that's why I said we're at 300 right now, even though this is what they're claiming. But yeah, let's go back to watching a little bit more. Cameraman is working hard right now. Tommy really puts the cars through their paces through these back roads. So I feel for the cameraman. I filmed Tommy's last video when we were ripping through the back roads, and I could not hold the camera. Like, it was like, oh. So I feel for the cameraman right now.
All right, guys, you've heard Tommy's initial assessment on this.
So real quick, looks like they ended up hitting 23 pound-feet of boost right here, or not, God, I keep saying pound-feet. I've been talking about torque a lot. 23 PSI of boost is now the max boost. So that is pretty interesting. They upped the boost in Sport Sharp. So 23, and I believe they keep the boost higher for a lot longer because they got rid of that knock. So Tommy said that when he was listening to, or when he had the access port monitoring, he had the knock learn sensor on and only registered I believe 1 instance, and then it corrected it right on the spot, and then from there, good to go. So that's good to hear that that COBB did hook it up with their stage 1 tune. And again, COBB has their tune custom for the S209, which I really appreciate. That's pretty cool. That, I mean, there's only 290 of these cars. Like, that's great that they were able to do some R&D on a car and then actually put out an off-the-shelf tune. Because I feel like a lot of guys with the S209, they may want to do the access port, but they're not going to want to go as deep as we're going to go. E85, catless downpipe, fuel lines, fuel rails, all the good stuff. I mean, we're gonna do about as much as this thing. We're gonna make it. We're basically gonna make it what it should have been from STI themselves. You know, big boy injectors, big time fuel pump, so that let's see how much we can get out of this HKS turbo. I mean, that's not a cheap turbo on there. So, you know, we might as well see how much we can get out of it. And that Subi sound too. I cannot wait to hear it when that downpipe. I'm obsessed with getting a downpipe on there. And when Tommy told me we couldn't get it on before I pick it up, I was like, ugh. But let's watch a couple more little polls. I think this is their quick review on it. The cameraman has never ridden or driven an S209 before, so he's going to give you his opinion real quick.
His older S209 video, but I have to say, as a passenger in this car for the first time, this thing feels really good. Like, I know the price tag might scare some of you, you know, especially with it being a Subaru, but this thing feels really good. I've been in all kinds of different cars, and this is probably one of the best feeling, you know, production cars that Subaru's made, at least.
I mean, straight out of the box.
Straight out of the box. And tell them what's going on with like the power or the.
So they're gonna get into some of the technical stuff that I've kind of been talking about, but here's this is Tommy right here, and he'll kind of tell you what's going on with the car.
As far as tuning in,
We've made logs, and looking at the logs, the injector duty cycle is like at 95, so it's doing all it can to keep up. I'm gonna go look on the logs when we get back and see where the AFRs are and see if it's just like keeping it really rich. But man, it just looks like an ultra safe map, which it should be for a $70,000 Subaru. But everything else looks good on the map. I think it was only pulling like 1.5 timing, which is kind of normal. But other than that, like, I think to do any more to the car, we're going to need bigger injectors, and it actually helps this car out a lot up top, because Subaru left a lot on the table up top, but now it just, I mean, it just freight trains. It's once it gets going, it gets going. So the stock levels were about 21 psi, I think, 20 on this car. So now it hits its high point at like 23, and then it tapers down to like 21. I think we're going to see what we can do with it, and then go from there.
but as far as the downpipe, it's definitely going to need more injector before.
Yeah, I would recommend before you put a downpipe on the S209, it's going to need more injector. Plus, if you got a downpipe, why not go E85?
Right.
Alrighty, guys. Well, you heard it from Tommy first. If you got a downpipe, might as well go E85. So I'm thinking our plan's good. You know, we got our plan right here. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, we're gonna hit up that the stock S209 has some good stuff to it, but some other stuff that we just got to replace, and then we'll go ahead and knock out those mods that we need to do so we can get this power up to this 400 level right here. It's gonna be great, guys. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, we are doing our 1,000 subscriber giveaway right when we hit 1,000 subs. So most of you guys made this long in the video, you're already subbed. But if you guys are looking for more value on the channel, other than the massive levels of entertainment of me yelling at my laptop while I have like no cars here, go ahead and check the comment or the description below. There is some other, there's 2 free stocks with Webull. That's a stock trading app like Robinhood. You can get 1 free stock with Robinhood down there. You can get $20 for just signing up for M1 Finance, which is another stock trading platform. So that's coming up on 50. I mean, with the Webull, one of your free stocks can be valued up to $1,600. So the minimum, I believe, is like $8 or $10. So if you just sign up for all 3 of those, you're going to get at least $50 in value out of those 3 things. Also, if you don't have Cash App, they're doing $5 just for signing up for Cash App. So there's a link below for that. If you guys want to buy a GoPro and start doing your own videos, then link below for that. And yeah, I just appreciate it. Appreciate you guys tuning in, sticking with me through the whole video, and make sure you go ahead, share the video with some other Subaru nuts. And if you guys are going to be at Cars and Coffee this weekend, I will see you in Nashville on Saturday and Atlanta on Sunday. Stay safe out there. Stay working through 2020. 2020 is crazy, and I will see you guys either at Cars and Coffee or for the next video.